From backyard Barbies to volunteer halls, you can hear that spirit in the weekend calls. Doesn't take gold, just a soul that cares. They're doing good stuff everywhere.
Doing good stuff. And the group we're going to talk about today are certainly people who do good stuff, often associated with the warmer weather more so than this time of the year. But the Country Fire Authority in Australia, in Victoria in fact, the CFA, a group of people who do good stuff. And we are joined today on the phone by John Houston, who's the president of the CFA Volunteers Group. Good morning to you, John.
Good morning, Neil. I was just busy singing away there to your nice song, so yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, it's something obviously you've worked with Artie to get him to write you something, which is he's a good fellow like that apparently. So well done you guys for getting him on board. Let's talk a bit about the CFA and how it operates, because we've got a bit of a mix of an audience. Some people who would be familiar with the CFA, but others who are listening in other parts of either Victoria or Australia who don't know what the CFA does. Run us through what the CFA does and how the volunteerism fits into it.
Yeah, so the CFA's basically the stations of roughly 1,200 stations across the state, predominantly out in the rural areas or in the semi-urban areas. And, we have crews or people, members, probably 40, 50, sometimes more, sometimes less, that basically volunteer. They do the programming, the training and stuff like that. And when there's a fire call, we answer the call, so to speak.
That's a good name for a song. I should get something written about that.
and away we go. But it's not just for fires, it's also we do community stuff, around fire safety and fire prevention, smoke alarms, things like that, but also accidents, road accidents and washaways and things like that. Down where we are, we had a bad truck accident a few days ago that we were called out to. So, just because it's winter doesn't mean that we're not doing anything. We're out in the community doing everything, and probably just a bit of perspective for the people in the city is that in the city you have the FRV, which are the career firefighters, and that they do an amazing job. And they have a lot more call outs than we do. But then we also do have carryover or crossover stations that are exactly the same. And some of our CFA stations in the urban parts could do 500, 600 call-outs a year. So that's, probably 1 to 2, maybe 3 a day, all from volunteerism. So, I think our firefighters in general, the volunteers in career, they do an amazing job under the circumstances.
So I think if you talk to most of our listeners, they would sort of assume, in Geelong, obviously, we've got a few CFA stations, but I suspect the iconic image of a CFA is, in a place like, I don't know, Camperdown or somewhere like that, where you might have 2 trucks and a station and so on. There'd be a lot more of those than the big ones, I guess.
Yes, definitely. Like I said, there's 1,200, just over 1,200 stations throughout the state, and some of them are reasonably sized stations where you'd hold 2 tankers and you have a meeting room and a couple of showers and a couple of toilets.
Yep.
No showers, unfortunately. And a meeting room and an office sort of thing, and then we go out to get out into the more rural areas, and they just basically have a tin shed. The toilet's outside. There's no change rooms. There's no common facilities that you think would expect, and unfortunately those people really have to do it tough. And a lot of our volunteers now, probably 15 to 20% of our volunteers are starting to be women. So it's pretty tough on them to turn up at a job and have to get changed with the boys. So
yep.
and then rock out and fight the fire.
Yeah, I think there's one particular fire brigade outlet not very far from here in a place that rhymes with Armstrong Creek that doesn't even have a shed. I think it's got a wire fence around it. So I think I saw it in the paper during the week. So let's suppose someone wants to come and become part of the CFA because they think it's a good thing to happen. By the way, breaking news, the rain has started in Bamborough, not far from here, so that's good news for firefighters. How do people get involved?
So the easiest thing is to just pop down to your local fire station, introduce yourself and just say, look, you'd really like to be a be a firefighter, and ask them the questions of what they do and what, what's things they have to do, and make sure that fits with you. But if you do that, then you can sign up, and then there's courses that you do online and through your brigade, and then you can go away as well and do them. And then after a period of time, if you tick all the boxes, you become a volunteer firefighter, and it's such a rewarding thing. Our volunteers do this because they want to defend and protect their community and want to know, especially in my case, I want to know that if my neighbour's house is on fire, or a friend down the road's house is on fire, or whatever, that I'm there to protect it and help him and save, hopefully, some part of his livelihood. So, and I think that's pretty much what all volunteers are in it for. They're not in it for personal glory. They're not in it for financial gain. They're in it because they love their community, and they just want to make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, keeping in mind that this is not a political program, so we're going to have to steer clear of one or two things here. It's fair to say that the CFA have been in the news a little bit of late regarding some taxes that have been imposed on them, for example, and the funding that goes to the CFA. I believe there's a few of you getting together to have a bit of chat about that tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're having a rally up north, and up in Bendigo, and we just want to highlight the problems that we are facing as a brigade. There's a lot of money that's been raised throughout the whole state for this emergency services volunteers fund tax, and we just want to highlight the inconsistencies of it. And yes, people have probably heard that the farmers and that are paying for it a lot more than what general community people are and the householders are, but businesses are paying more. But the overall picture is that everybody in the whole state is paying for this one way or the other, directly or indirectly, and we're paying more, and it's been raising billions of dollars a year, but we're not getting a fire service that we want or that we need to defend the state against fire when those opportunities, or when unfortunately those disasters happen. So it's just about highlighting the inconsistencies. And I've said, if you go to the pub, you buy a beer, you get a beer. You buy a jumper, you get a jumper. You buy a car, you get a car. You don't get half a car or a couple of wheels missing. But unfortunately, we're all paying billions of dollars for a fire service that we're not getting value for money on. So this is just a rally to highlight that.
And for people who want to turn up, obviously there's no cost involved in being there, but there'll be things like merchandise and food trucks and stuff there, I guess. It's at the Tom Flood Oval in Bendigo.
Yes, definitely, at 10 o'clock. So the gates open at 10, speeches will be at 11, and then the tankers will roll out probably somewhere between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. And we'd just love to see as many people there as possible. This is a great opportunity to stand shoulder to shoulder with a volunteer or a career firefighter, but also a farmer and the community in the cities, just to everyone to stand together and say thanks very much, but this is a fight that we're all in together, and we want a better service moving forward.
And I guess the other thing, and I was talking to Anita Donlan a couple of weeks ago on this program, and she's going to be there tomorrow. Sadly, I can't get up there. I was going to hopefully get up there and say good day to a few people, but unfortunately can't make it. But it's also an opportunity not just to use the word protest, but also to find a firefighter or a farmer and shake them by the hand and say thank you. I think that's a really important part of this, that an opportunity to celebrate the amazing work that the CFA and others do, I just think is a great opportunity.
Oh, 100%. That's what I mean. When you stand shoulder to shoulder and you can just turn around, look in the crowd and just say thank you to those people, because this is probably the first opportunity a lot of people have had to do that. And fortunately or unfortunately, different parts of the state tend to get burnt out year on year. So, sometimes it doesn't affect you for a long time, but then when it does, it really highlights the fact of where we're at. But it also highlights the fact that when you get the opportunity to stand shoulder to shoulder and look a firefighter or a volunteer in the ear and say thank you very much for what you do for us, I think that's a really great opportunity. And what we don't realise too, is the farmers actually, they're private tankers. They turn out private tankers to fight the fires, and sometimes they outnumber the CFA tankers or appliances on scene 2 or 3 to 1. So don't underestimate what businesses, farmers and communities actually bring to the table in supporting fires moving forward too. So, it's a great opportunity just to wrap each other's arms around everybody and just say thank you.
John, thank you for letting us know about that. John Houston, the president of the CFA Volunteers Group, tomorrow at the Tom Flood Oval in Bendigo, pretty close to the centre of Bendigo, kicking off at 10 o'clock, speeches from 11, and if you've got a little grandson like I've got, if I was bringing him, he would be coming with me to see all the fire trucks. If for no other reason, it would have been a great time to get up there. So all the best with it tomorrow. Hope the weather is better than it is today, and all the power to you.
No worries. Thanks, Neil. Thanks for your support. And as many people get up there, I'd love to see you. And, yeah.
And if you do, tell John you heard about him on the Two Blokes Chatting radio show. That'll make him feel good, make us feel good.
Yeah, well, I reckon Artie's coming, so he's singing.
Oh, if he's going to be there, people will be looking for autographs, I would have thought. Cheers, mate. We'll talk soon.
No worries. Thank you.
All the best. There he is, John Houston from the CFA Volunteers Group.